This is the part 2 of our Scotland road trip. After leaving Edinburgh, we travelled up towards Aviemore. We stopped off along the way at the Hermitage, which was this beautiful park that had the tallest tree in Britain. It was very cool. It had lots of history and lots of artists and poets that had visited there, so it was a nice little stop on the long drive up.
Is it wolves? Is it what I expected? Is it wolves?
You only live once, do what your heart wants. I keep replaying all the memories, looking for a way to cure this pain. I'm such a mess, trying to reset the time right from the start. Many lies that I've told.
Aviemore's quite known for its skiing or winter sports. We went there because there was lots of nature around there that we wanted to visit. We stayed in the wholesome, which was a really nice place to stay. We'd recommend it.
The Cairngorms.
The Cairngorms.
So the main thing I wanted to do in Scotland was climb mountains, because I love it. I really wanted to do Benwellis, but spoiler, we didn't have very good weather at the end of our trip, so we didn't manage to do it. But here we decided to climb Cairngorm, which is a mountain in the Cairngorms range. A lot of skiing's done there, but because we went in summer, obviously there's no skiing then. So we started by walking up the road, the service road, which wasn't our plan. There was another path, I can't remember the name of it now, that we were planning to go up, but we missed the turning, so it was still nice views. It was just so steep. Can't make it. Walk backwards up the hill. This first part is probably the least favourite part, because once you get to the top and walk along the peaks, it's stunning. This looks shallow in comparison to the bit we're just about to walk up, which is that ridge there. Can't see where you're going. I just can't express to you how steep this is. We just can't see. It's really freaking steep.
Keep your side of the road. You gotta work, you gotta run, tomorrow
feeling, Beth?
I'm making it at my own pace. Last like 200 metres now. It's a nice easy path to walk up if you're not as like confident. There's no way you can get lost on this. You're waiting for them to get past. When we were at the top of Cairngorm, these tourists were talking about walking to Ben Macadooey, which is the largest in the Cairngorms, but it's really far away and the weather wasn't meant to be great that day, so we hung around at the top of the Cairngorm to see what it was going to do, and it actually turned out to be a lovely day. Let's have lunch. We started walking along the path, along the ridges that we planned to do, and we'd just left the peak and we heard these people screaming at us from like down the hill, and it was these tourists asking which way Ben Macadooey was. Please don't be these people. Plan your route. We saw them our way down, and they'd had to cut it short because they didn't realise how far Ben Macadooey was. So, yeah, don't do that. He's not doing anything. I'm sure that's the bird. Oh, there he is. Closest we can get to snow, I think.
Did you look up to the sky and see beautiful colors? Could you live in the moment like there's no other? Do you also feel sometimes that the only friend is the ocean who understands? Remember when I was younger, the street lights called the day to an end.
What do you mean about my singing? It makes me happy. The weather held out really well until the last 10-20 minutes of the walk, when it absolutely tipped it down. The rain's begun. So enjoy these very attractive videos of us getting drenched. So we stayed in Aviemore for 2 nights, and the day after we climbed Cairngorm, we drove up towards Loch Ness.
I'll trade my pillow for your company. You know I'd find a window of opportunity to paint a rainbow of silk and call it serendipity. You can drop my motorcycle and all will be forgiven. It's a celebration, so I lift you off the ground.
So we stopped at Culloden, which is the Battle of Culloden. The Jacobites were led by Bonnie Prince Charlie, which is a great name. So the Jacobites were at one flag and the British Royalists, Hanoverian, were the other side. I'm not sure which one's which. And his father was meant to be the king, so he came over to England. They were in France and gathered up as many of the clans that would fight, and they fought against the government troops, basically the English, and it was basically a massacre. Yeah, they were very outnumbered.
We're in a lake.
We then carried on up to the Loch Ness, and the drive there was beautiful. This was my favourite by far hostel of the entire trip. It was so cool, and it was perched on the edge of a lake of Loch Ness. And oh yeah, if you didn't know, a loch is just basically a lake in Scottish. So a loch is actually a body of water in Scotland. Some even connect to the sea, but Loch Ness is the deepest. I take that back, it's the largest, not the deepest. And if you're in Loch Ness, stay at Lochside Hostel because it was very cool. I think it's Lochside. Was it Lochside? I think it is.
Yes.
As well as being such a cool hostel, right opposite it, there's a waterfall, which isn't like the most spectacular waterfall ever, but the fact that it's like a 5-minute walk from the hostel, pretty cool.
It's quite a good waterfall, isn't it?
After staying at the Lochside Hostel, we found a nature reserve, national park. I can't remember what they're called, something like that, called Glen Affric, and there was loads of waterfalls and big trees, all our favourite things, so it was quite rainy.
So just casually walking out onto a viewing platform, like, okay, this feels a bit weird, like, what? Oh hell no! Whoa! Oh my god! We were just stood on that. Oh my god.
But we went on a couple walks. The first one we went on was called Plodder Falls, and it was so cool. There was like this platform, but I don't want to ruin it for you. Actually, this video is going to ruin it for you. Well, basically it overhangs. We walked all the way to the end before we realised that it was a hovering platform. It was terrifying, but yes. And there was so many cool little villages. Like, we drove through one and there was these cool old lamps. I loved it. It was amazing.
Like we're in a movie. You got so much sand on your body.
Mr. Thomas is going to be waiting one of these. Just you wait. We'll see him in a sec. Mr. Thomas?
We then went to Dog Falls, which was a lot busier, which is funny because I would say Plodder Falls was cooler, but we didn't do the long walk at Dog Falls. We just went up to the top and overlooked the reservoir because we were shattered from doing Plodder Falls. So yeah, they were both really cool, and Glen Affric was beautiful. So
Wasn't it Broome?
I'm starting to wonder how many parts there's going to be, but I think I'm going to leave it there because it's quite a long video already. But next time, spoiler, we start driving towards Torridon, which is beautiful, and I think it was possibly my favourite part of the trip. So yeah, come back for part 3 in probably a few weeks because it takes me ages to edit all the videos, but yeah. Thank you for watching, bye.